We should never, and I mean never, make another kids movie again. Now hear me out.
Let's talk about that.
I recently watched an interview with one of the founders of Pixar, Craig Good, and he said something about older kids movies that just blew my mind.
We didn't make a single movie for kids. We made movies for us. We made them for adults, and then we had to make sure that they were okay for kids.
You know, I've always felt like there was a little something about older animated movies that made them more than just movies for kids. And after listening to that interview, I now realize why. They weren't making movies for kids. They were making great movies that kids could watch. And that is a huge difference.
When Wall-E wakes up and he's not himself anymore, working on that shot at my desk made me cry.
If you sit down and make a movie that's strictly for children, a lot of the time you're gonna end up with slop. Something loud, colorful, and forgettable that nobody wants to revisit later. But when you make something amazing first, something you yourself would want to watch, and then make sure that it's appropriate for younger audiences, that's how you get The Incredibles, Wall-E, Ratatouille, Shrek, The Iron Giant, The Road to El Dorado, Treasure Planet. Those movies are rewatchable, and they're rewatchable because they're not really kids' movies. They're just great movies that are appropriate for kids.
When I say we never made a kids film, I want to make sure you understand that I certainly don't, and I don't think anybody thinks kids are dumb.
And he's right. Kids aren't stupid. Their minds are just shaping. Sure, colorful nonsense excites them because new things are exciting. But eventually, nonsense grows old. And the children's filmmakers of yesterday understood that.
The thing about kids is they have no taste. They literally will watch anything. You develop taste later.
They understood that if you give kids something with substance, they'll get it, and they'll grow into it. Kids understand so much more than adults give them credit for. And in the developmental years, what they consume matters.
Kids are really, really smart. They're learning machines. Their full-time job is figuring out how the world works, and they're really, really good at it.
Watching things like The Incredibles and The Iron Giant absolutely helped me later on in life. With movies like that, I got to enjoy and consume real ideas.
I can't lose you again!
Educated thoughts and dialogue.
You are what you choose to be.
I got to laugh and cry and grow. Because those movies had heart. They weren't just time fillers. They made me more empathetic, more creative, and helped with critical thinking. It helped with media literacy as well. And I think we need more of that.
So, kids get it.
Kids deserve movies with real ideas. Movies that aren't afraid of showing honest themes like morality, connection, emotion, and loss.
Do you remember the way to the Great Valley?
They need stories that aren't afraid to dig deep and show more than just the black and white. They need stories that help them learn, think, and grow. Not just mindless, in-your-face action modeled after doom scrolling. Because what you get out of that is a pointless 2-hour time suck.
You have to talk to her. Just look at her.
Yeah, the generic kids formula works, but it only works for children, and children of a certain age group, might I add. It doesn't allow the older kids and the parents to enjoy them, and it doesn't even let adults in general enjoy them either. So what is anyone gaining from that? Why should we watch those movies?
And the instant that happened, we hear a little kid way behind us in the theater shout, "That's not the real Wall-E."
The difference between All Dogs Go to Heaven and Charlie the Wonder Dog is that I still want to watch All Dogs Go to Heaven. And who actually knows about Charlie the Wonder Dog?
Look, I don't care about the girl. I pretend to be her best friend, but it's baloney.
And I also doubt that the grown-up kids are going to be quoting hoppers like we quote Shrek. And they're probably not going to be revisiting the Super Mario Galaxy movie like we revisit Sinbad.
Maybe you can fool these people, but I know who you are.
And you know what people also go back and rewatch? Megamind, all the Studio Ghibli movies, How to Train Your Dragon, Robots, or even Flushed Away.
A man of quality.
And that means something. I'm not saying that every single kids movie that comes out nowadays is trash, but most of them are. Whereas back then, most of the kids movies that came out, still bangers today. And filmmakers need to get back to making movies like that. We need to stop making movies just to satisfy boredom and start making movies that stick with people later down the line. Movies that are amazing first and appropriate for all ages, because those are the movies that last.
Wow, you're soaking wet.
And consumers, you need to stop rewarding all of this mindless content. Even if you're just trying to entertain your kids, supporting them tells filmmakers that this is okay, that they should keep making this slop that wastes your time, your money, and hurts your children, instead of making something worthwhile.
Your daddy may not have gotten the place he always wanted, but he had something better. He had love.
Your kids deserve better. We deserve better. Everyone deserves art that can just inspire them to be amazing.
But only the fearless can be great.
But what do you think? Do you agree with Craig Good? Or do you think pointless kids movies are fine? Comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie news just like this.